So for today's dish, you will need the following ingredients. I've chosen a selection of seasoning, but you can choose whichever you like. I've got some turmeric, some oregano, some ginger, some onion salt, some cayenne pepper, some sage, and some basil and some ginger. Don't forget to wash your hands. You will need to prep your fresh vegetables by peeling and washing. Then start with some grapeseed oil and pour into a heated pan. So while my pan's heating on a low fire, I chop all of my fresh vegetables. I'm using onion, spring onion, tomatoes, pepper and carrots. Feel free to add more or use less. Once your pan's nice and hot, you want to get all your finely cut fresh vegetables or chopped to how it suits fit, and then pop it into your pan. Give it a little stir, making sure that none of the vegetables burn. So you want to make sure the fire is not too high. I think I decided that I wanted a bit more pepper at this point, so I'm just finely cutting some more red pepper to add into my pot. Making sure your fire is not too high. You want a nice medium heat. Let your veg saute for a few minutes. Now I'm adding some sweet potato to this dish as a side dish, but you can choose whatever you want. You can have a salad, or if you eat rice, or some couscous, or some mashed potatoes, or some boiled potatoes, whatever you choose fit. You could add a nice slice of yellow or white yam, or you could have some dasheen, or you could make yourself some dumplings, fried or boiled. So I peel and then wash my sweet potato before chopping them and placing them in a pot, covering with cold water and putting on a medium heat. So once your veg has sauteed for a few minutes, about 5 minutes, and your sweet potatoes in the pot boiling away, it's time then to add in the main ingredient, being the butter beans. Now I'm using butter beans, but you can use any selection of bean or lentil, and you can either use any bean or lentil in a tin, or you can buy dried bean and lentils and soak them overnight. So once all your fresh vegetables and your bean or lentil or your butter beans are in the pan, it's time to start adding your powder seasoning. Now personally, I add about half a teaspoon to a full teaspoon of seasoning, depending on which one it is. I add less for the onion salt and less of the cayenne pepper, but about a teaspoon for everything else. Now again, you can use more or less seasoning. The most important thing is that you season it to your taste. Here I'm just using a little bit of mixed spice. Feel free to add or omit from your dish. Give it all a stir once you've got all your powder seasoning in, just to make sure you've mixed everything all up together. So excuse the sound in the background, I'm just boiling the kettle. This is a jar of coconut oil, solid coconut oil, that I'm going to add to the dish. I do apologise, I forgot to pick it out in the beginning to show you. So I just pour some hot water into the butter beans. Take about a tablespoon of coconut oil and pop it into my pot. Now I like to use these gluten-free veg stock pots, so I just pop it into the middle of my pan with my butter beans and fresh vegetables and the water that I've added. I pop the lid on my pan, check on my sweet potatoes and just leave everything to cook for about 10 minutes. Check it, give it another stir, make sure nothing sticks and that the coconut oil and the veg pot is mixed in nicely. Cover again and leave. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I wish you could smell it, guys. Now don't forget to check on the sweet potatoes because you don't want them to overcook. I tend to just get a knife, pop it in the sweet potato and make sure it's just a little bit soft before I take it off the fire and drain off the water. Now I'm going to mash my sweet potato. So I'm just literally scooping out the potato onto a bowl. Sorry you can't quite see here, guys. I'm just putting the sweet potato onto a bowl before I proceed in mashing it. Now I do like to season my sweet potato, so I'm just putting a little bit of mixed spices, a tiny dash of onion, salt and sage. Feel free to add more seasoning or use less seasoning. Again, the key thing is that you season it to taste. I also add just a little bit of dairy-free vegan margarine just to mix it all together. Give it a mash. Once your sweet potatoes all mashed, you are ready to serve. And here you have it. Butter beans, some mixed veg, some sweet potato mash, another tasty vegan dish. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Enjoy your meal.